That's right.
As
Manhattan
opposed
clam
to
chowder.
the New England, which is the white clam chowder.
Yes.
And so I'm just going to let you get started.
Okay. In my pan, I have about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And to that, I'm going to add about 2 cups of onions. And also about a cup of chopped green pepper. You should to make things easy on yourself, give it a stir each time you add something. And about a cup of chopped celery. And you let this cook. Of course, you have to season it, add a little salt. And a little pepper. Doesn't it smell good? It's one of my favorite things, smelling vegetables frying. Okay.
Now that's what they call the Trinity, right?
Yeah, well, yes, this is the Trinity because it has the green pepper in it.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Which is celery, onions, and green pepper.
Yes. And you cook that until the vegetables are transparent, the onions are transparent, and the peppers are at least al dente, we'll say. And to that, you want to add your spices.
You always have such great spices
and
in your
herbs. First, I'll add about a tablespoon of garlic. I would add more, but I'm being conservative today. Give it a good stir. And saute a few more minutes. And then you want to add your bay leaf. I like to break mine up. And thyme, about a tablespoon of thyme. And about a tablespoon of basil. And about a teaspoon of cumin. Cumin is one of those spices that's from the East. And it is so good. It gives your soups and chowders that nice, warm, homey flavor and aroma. And about a 1/4 cup of chopped parsley. And stir all that in. I like to do the seasoning now. That way it gets into your vegetables. Really nice. And
smells great.
Just season a little bit. Yes, it does smell very good. Aroma vision would be nice.
Yeah. Maybe soon, huh?
Yes. And to that, once you have that cooked, you're going to want to add 1 28-ounce can of tomato puree. That seems like a lot. But what I have done, I added a can of water as well.
The whole can?
Yes,
You're
28
looking at
ounces.
56 ounces of liquid.
Yes, that's right. And cook that a little bit. And then you're going to want to add, actually you're going to want to add your sliced or diced carrots. And carrots also is one of those ingredients where it gives your soup a nice sweetness, a nice, beautiful color, and also good flavor. Stir that in. I find it's a lot easier to stir after each addition. And of course, about 4 cups of diced potatoes rather. And I'm using the red skin potato. It does well in soups and chowders.
Do you leave the skins
and
on like
I
that?
scrubbed them and left the skins on. Yes, I did.
Very pretty.
Yes.
With the green peppers and everything.
Yes, it is.
Well, skins are supposed to have more of the nutrients than any other part of the potato,
Yes.
so why would you peel it off and throw it away?
That's right. For this, it just works perfect to leave them on, and it's much quicker to put together as a soup, a chowder. And you cook this for about an hour on a simmer. Bring it to a boil and then put it on low on a simmer. Cook for about an hour. And then you're going to want to add your pint of clams. Now, these are not fresh clams. Fresh clams would be, by far, much better. But this is stuff that we're using from our pantry. And this is 3 6-ounce cans of chopped clams. I prefer the small baby clams, but I didn't have them available for now.
You use the juice out of the can and everything, the
You
whole...
use the juice also. In fact, if you like a more clammy flavor, you could also use the bottle of clam juice, which makes it very, very good.
Yeah, I often use that to add for pastas and stuff to give it more liquid.
Yes. And then I guess you would simmer it for another half an hour. And you'd season it to taste, salt and pepper to taste. And there you have your Manhattan clam chowder.
Did you put this in?
I put some in the beginning.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I saw you pick up this.
Yeah, you just add more.
I see some Tabasco sauce. Does that go in?
Oh, yes. I'm glad you know. I'm glad you noticed.
Oh, I noticed it because everyone knows that I'm not a hot food person. As soon as I see any hot food, it sort of announces itself to me.
Oh, I guess about a quarter of a teaspoon would be nice.
Well, that's
if
good.
you like more, just add it to your bowl.
Do you think more is better all the time?
No, more is not necessarily better in this case. You want to taste everything. You don't want your mouth to be on fire that you can't taste everything.
How come you know that? So many people don't know that. They think if it's hot and if they can't, it's like, it's good.
Yeah,
good. I don't understand it. I like to taste it.
I like to taste it also. Now what we need to do is take it to the stove and let it simmer. Bring it to a boil and let it simmer for an hour.
I have to mention, I don't know, you never realize the sounds of a deli. We was here, we were listening, and first we heard the meat case go off, and then the soda thing goes on, and it's really strange. You just don't think of having all these noises running until you start taping, and then it's the sounds of the deli.
Yes.
Maybe we can have a new recording or something.
So it's a lot of refrigeration here. It makes a lot of strange noises.
It really is. Where's Tom? Not Tom, Bill.
Bill's up on the roof.
Is that?
I'm going to strangle him.
I've been trying now for over a year to get him on camera, Oh. So I thought today I had an opportunity. I trick him on camera, and he's on the roof. So I'm sorry about that. Maybe again another time we'll get him on. He doesn't seem to want to be. He's camera shy, but so. Okay, we're going to go on to what's in here.
Okay, this is clam chowder.
This is it. Oh, look at the steam.
Product. This is the finished product.
Oh, it smells great.
Yes, doesn't it smell good? Doesn't it look great? That nice orangey.
Is that from the carrots?
It's from the carrots and the tomatoes. Yes.
But it's not that acidy tomato look.
No, not at all. That's where the carrots come in. You add extra carrots, and it sweetens your pot.
And the potatoes with the carrots give it a heavier body.
Yes.
Where some of them are really thin.
The texture of the soup because it has body. You're right about that. We'll put some in a bowl for you.
It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
Isn't that nice? And of course, again, it would even be better with fresh clams. You can put your fresh clams in, about 15 minutes at the end, or until they're all open. Would you like to try it, Betty?
Oh, sure. Can I get a spoon?
Yes, you may.
Spoons help. It's awfully hot. Yeah.
Yes, be careful.
I'll just try some of the broth. It's very nice taste.
That's
good. It's a vegetable soup. That's really what it is.
Yeah, it's basically a vegetable soup. Not all the vegetables, but a lot of them. And lots of tomato and clams.
Nice clam.
Yes.
The clam taste is really nice with it. Okay, is anything else you can serve with that? Or
yes, what would be nice to serve with your Manhattan clam chowder would be a nice crisp salad and some good crunchy bread and butter. And there you have a nice meal.
Well, listen, I want to thank you, Carol, again for sharing with us your recipes. And Carol has agreed to give us this recipe. If you didn't get it down while she was talking, if you sent it into Downtown Kitchen, we will send you a copy of that recipe and of what we're going to be making up the pumpkin pancakes and the pumpkin butter. So, well, I'm really glad you were able to join us again today, and hopefully we'll be able to cook again together. Cook again. She did all the cooking, of course, in the future, and so we'll be right back.
Thank you very much, Betty, for inviting me.
Good, I'm glad.
It was a lot of fun.
You enjoyed it? Hi. I bet some of you don't know what this is. This is a bookmobile. It's a full-size library. Why don't we go inside and see what it's all about? Come on. Where's the door? Here it is. Oh, here we go. It's really nippy out there. Ooh, that was... Here we are. Don't you see all the shelves and all the books, just like your library? The bookmobile library offers you a lot of services. Maybe Joe Hood, the driver, can explain some of the services that are offered by the bookmobile.
Welcome aboard the bookmobile. As Betty said, we do have a lot of services. Aside from the normal books that you see, we also have a fairly decent large print section over there. We have videotapes and books on tape, audio cassettes here that people listen to in the car.
They're real popular, these audio tapes. They get more popular every day.
Really, a lot of people use them on their commutes back and forth to work. Also, if somebody's looking for a specific book, we take a request here and take it into the library. They'll find the book in there, either from our library or from other libraries, and then they send the patron a card in the mail to let them know when to pick it up at their stop.
That's a great service. They're able to get books from, like you said, all over the country, all over the world. In fact, I think recently they got some books from Italy or England. I'm not quite sure where, but they do this through ILL, which is an interlibrary loan, and this is at no cost to the patron unless there is a charge by the institution that you're asking something from it. It's very small if there's any charge. It's really a free service. And it's really very popular, and I don't know the statistics on it. I really should, but I don't know the statistics on it, but I know it's used all the time, and people are always looking for books, materials, not just books, everything they need. The library, if you haven't been to a library before, recently I should say, I hope we've all been to a library sometime in our life, check one out, check out your regular local library or a bookmobile. You usually see them sitting on the parking lots of shopping centers and other places of business, and they also have a schedule of where they're going to be. There are many, many stops on the western Montgomery County, western part of Montgomery County, I should say, and they're all listed here. All the stops are listed. The times are there, the dates are there, and the hours and everything. So if you want one of these bookmobile schedules, if you write to me at my post office box, downtown Kitchen, post office box 1660, Norristown, Pennsylvania 19404, we'll get one off to you right away. And if you're really good, you'll send a self-stamped addressed envelope like you usually do for everything you get from downtown Kitchen. The bookmobile service is a service of the Montgomery County Norristown Public Library. But if you live in other counties throughout the area, please check with your local library, and they can tell you what services they have to offer.
Limerick Country Deli, where the big rigs and the locals go for a complete assortment of deli sandwiches, eat in or take out. Stop by for your Pennsylvania lottery tickets, cold beer, or just to use the no surcharge ATM. Featuring dairy products, fresh baked goods, deli meats and cheeses, automotive and household supplies, open every day. Stop in, call, or fax your order. Limerick Country Deli, the little store that has it all, with the best sandwiches in town.
Well, here we are, we're back, and wasn't that some delicious soup that Carol just made? I think you'll enjoy it if you try it and you make it. There's all the vegetables, everything you need in it, it's there. I'm still at the Limerick Country Deli, and they've given me a privilege, I think, today. I'm going to make a very special treat. I think it's a treat. It's like a weekend breakfast thing. It's called pumpkin pancakes. But what they're allowing me to do, and I've never done this before, so you have to bear with me, I'm going to use their big commercial grill that they have here at the Country Deli to make these pancakes. And I've only ever worked on a little grill at home, or a griddle, or a frying pan or something. So I'm a little apprehensive about doing it, on such a big grill, but they assured me that it would work just as well. And with the pumpkin pancakes, I have in this bowl, and I mixed it all together because as I had to transport everything up to the deli and not in our kitchen in Norristown, I put in this bowl a cup of flour. I'm going to have to maybe read this a little to you, or I'll switch it over there because I'm not quite sure of all the ingredients. It's a cup of flour, a half a cup of wheat germs in here, and wheat germ you can usually purchase that in the cereal department at the grocery stores, or if you go to bulk places, that you can buy it by bulk or in the bag or however you need it. It's good for a lot of other things, but it's really great in this pancake mix. So that if we have that, and I'm going to put that up there, and also in here is a half a teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of sugar, a teaspoon of ginger, and 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. It's a very rich cinnamony type breakfast. And then also you need 1 teaspoon of baking soda to give it a little poof, to make it a little lighter, so you don't have to make sinkers or hockey pucks per se. Next, I'm going to take a container and I'm going to crack in 1 large egg. Right in. And I need a half a cup of sour cream. As we talked about before, the sour cream can be whatever kind you prefer. It can be regular, it can be light sour cream, which is a new one, or it can be the fat-free. It's whatever you choose. So we put about a cup in, or half a cup, I'm sorry. You don't have to be perfect on that. And then I put this in the same container. I chose a container that has a lid. And we're going to see why. Because we're going to shake this all up before we add it to the flour mixture. And then I have in this little thing 1 tablespoon of oil, vegetable oil, canola oil, saffron oil, whatever you choose. And then I need a half a cup of pumpkin. This is the prepared pumpkin. It's solid pumpkin. It's not the pumpkin pie filling mix. You don't want to use that because you're going to get something totally too sweet, too thin. So you want the regular 100% pure pumpkin. It usually comes in 2 sizes, this size can and a bigger can, which is almost twice as big as this. So I need a half a can of this, or not a half a can, I'm sorry, half a cup. It's early. We usually film on Sunday evenings, but it's Sunday morning today, so we're all trying to get our bearings. It's quite early. So I put the half of cup of pumpkin. It can be a little more. You can pack it down. Make sure you have enough, and then empty this into the container. You know, sometimes it's very difficult when you cook away from your own environment or your own kitchen. Things aren't just the same. I'm going to put a lid on top of this, the container. It doesn't have to be shaped like this. It could be any shape. And put a lid on top of it. Make sure it's sealed and tight, or you'll be wearing it. And you take this whole thing and you mix it. You shake it up. As much as, it doesn't have to be perfectly shaken. Then you take it, and we're going to transfer everything into the flour mixture now. The pumpkin, the sour cream, the egg. Oh, I know I need one more thing. I need a half a cup of water. Can I get some water from someone? I think I'm trapped with there's no water. Carol's going to get me water, and while I'm doing that, I'll talk a little more about this. This is, I serve this. This is the pumpkin pancakes, and I serve it with a pumpkin butter. Excuse me. Thank you, Carol. I need a half a cup of water to this. Again, remember, if you want today's recipes, they're easily gotten. You just need to write to Downtown Kitchen, Post Office Box 1660, Norristown, Pennsylvania 19404, and we'll get them off to you. But make sure it's in a self-addressed stamped envelope. So here we have all the wet ingredients. I had just lastly added a half a cup of water. I wonder why it was strange. And I'm going to pour all the liquid into the flour mixture. Make sure you get it all out because you sort of need it all. And I'm going to clean the lid out. Now that we have all the ingredients in here that we need for this, we mix it together thoroughly. Make sure it's all incorporated so you have a nice batter. Sometimes you need a little more water. We'll see what happens along the way. One thing I want to mention, you should make a nice batter, but you shouldn't. Some people tend to beat their pancake batters to death. What you need to do is cover everything, make sure that it's covered well, and you do a nice job, but don't beat it for days or hours. That's why I suggest doing it by hand and not by mixer, because when you do it by hand, you're not going to do it as long as by mixer. By mixer, you let it go for 5 minutes, and then it's just not the right thing. The consistency, this is about the consistency we need. Okay, here we are, we have it all ready. Now I'm going to take it over to the grill. And you'll notice the batter is a pretty heavy batter. It's not a runny, liquidy batter, so it's going to stay almost right where you put it. Carol seasoned the grill for me. Carol turned the grill on for me. Carol almost did everything for me. Hopefully I'm going to be able to do this. And what you do is she just puts some oil on it and let it heat up, put oil on it, and she seasoned what they call seasoning the grill. Then you just make sure the grill area you're going to use is covered nicely. You can do that with a spatula. I don't need to use the whole grill for this, so we didn't season the whole grill. I like to make these pancakes sort of small, so I take a small scoop and I drop it onto the, you know what I should have done, gang? I should have oiled the scoop before I start dropping the pancakes down, but we'll keep going from here. This makes about 8 to 10 big pancakes, and I never really counted how many little pancakes. Now we're going to work with 3 right here. And they do take longer than the big thin pancakes, but I think I'm just more apprehensive about using the equipment.
It's just like a big frying pan.
Is that what it is?
That's helpful.
We'll try. Let me just see if it's going anywhere. Yeah, it's starting to. Okay, yeah, it's starting to cook. So I'm going to. Whoops! I didn't do that well. Gee. Oh, that was a big goof. Let's try the next one. Do you know why I didn't do that well? It wasn't cooked enough. That's what happened. Well, I don't, like, we need to, see, if it's cooked enough, they turn over, and that one I tried to do, and it wasn't cooked enough. Let me try one more here. Could make this batter a little thinner, like maybe another 2 or 3 tablespoons of, let me do that for you. I'm going to slip out of the camera for a minute just to get some water. I won't leave. I'm going to put a little more water into the batter, a couple tablespoons more, and I'm going to mix it in. I think the batter, besides the grill not being real hot, the batter was just a little too thick. I could feel it not wanting to, and again, not cooking at home, it's a little more. Here we go. We're going to try another one here, one of the thinner ones. Yeah, I can tell that's already better. And these make like what they call the silver dollars. I had to check this one. Yeah, they're a little thicker than the others, so they do have to cook a little longer. Here's the one that I messed up. It's cooking, but it's not real pretty. Here we go. I think, yeah, we needed a thinner batter also. Boy, I'm not doing well at all, gang. But one time I did a demonstration with these, and I made a couple hundred, and I think I only lost 2. So even Downtown Kitchen has bad days. Try 2 more. Now here's one that's pretty nice, and I can tell by when I pick it up, it's light and it's airy, and it's going to be done. And you can see now, I also think the grill is hotter than it was earlier, and it's going to make these nice little thing. Again, you can make them bigger, but you see what a hard time we have making them smaller. Making them bigger will be harder. Now here's one that's pretty nice, and I can tell by when I pick it up, it's light and it's airy, and it's going to be done. And you can see now, I also think the grill is hotter than it was earlier, and it's going to make these nice little thing. Again, you can make them bigger, but you see what a hard time we have making them smaller. Making them bigger will be harder. Okay, here we go. I'm finishing up some. Actually, if you look at it, even the first one that was all crumbled up doesn't look too bad once it's cooked and looking with the good. It smells great. The wheat germ with the cinnamon and all absolutely smells wonderful. I'm going to flip this one. Oh, see, remember these have baking soda, so they're going to rise too. So they're not nice little a box pancake mix. This is really wonderful. So what I'm going to do, aha, business has started already. The deli isn't open yet for business, so of course we came a little early. All sorts of things. And then we have that. Of course, we have a lot more batter, so we'll go on frying them afterwards. I don't want to subject you to watching me do this any longer because I do not seem to be too with it this morning. The other thing, again, I want to mention the deli for hosting us today and for putting up with me and the grill and everything else. And thank Carol for that wonderful soup she made. Actually, before today, I prefer New England clam chowder, but after today, I think maybe I'll try more Manhattan clam chowder along the way. And I also remind you to visit your local library or your local bookmobile here in Montgomery County. And as you saw earlier, you got a chance to see what a bookmobile is and what it has to offer. So really enjoyed having you today, and thank you for coming on our little field trip, as we call it. And so good cooking and good eating.